LCMC Health's purchase of 3 New Orleans area hospitals brought a slew of lawyers to federal court today.
As Sabrina Wilson reports, the Federal Trade Commission says LCMC and HCA ignored federal law when they finalized the deal.
More than a dozen attorneys were in federal court in New Orleans over a legal fight involving LCMC Health's purchase of 3 New Orleans area hospitals at a cost of $150 million. Any comment from FTC or Justice Department?
Comment, thank you.
It was the same from attorneys representing the 2 hospital systems. In April, the Federal Trade Commission sued LCMC Health and HCA Healthcare Inc., saying they were required by law to file pre-merger notifications with the FTC and the U.S. Department of Justice's Antitrust Division.
The FTC is basically saying, whoa, you guys were supposed to notify us a while ago before you made this play, and you don't have a right to go forward without us reviewing the merger because we could have some problems with it.
More than the FTC is concerned with the sale, LCMC Health will control 9 hospitals in this area.
In terms of how this all plays out, I think, we all kind of realize this is out of our control. But we certainly welcome the Federal Trade Commission's involvement.
The sale involves Tulane Medical Center in New Orleans, Tulane Lakeside Hospital in Metairie, and Lakeview Regional Medical Center in St. Tammany Parish. Mike Robertshaw is a registered nurse at Tulane Medical and a member of National Nurses United, and he says there's uncertainty about job security.
I think that anytime you condense a market and you have fewer players, it is never good for consumers and it is never good for workers.
In its lawsuit, the FTC writes LCMC and HCA flouted their HSR Act obligations by failing to report their transaction and then consummating it without filing the required pre-merger notification. And the FTC has opened an investigation into whether the sale will have the effect of substantially lessening competition or tend to create a monopoly. Fox 8 legal analyst Joe Responti.
What it's saying is, if this is allowed to go through, you're going to have 2 800-pound gorillas in town, Ochsner and these guys, and it's going to limit your ability as a customer, as a patient, to choose, and it may affect, they can raise prices.
In turn, LCMC Health filed suit against the FTC, claiming that the deal is immune to federal antitrust laws because Louisiana's Attorney General's office reviewed the purchase application and authorized the deal.
The 2 parties, LCMC and HCA, say, hey, we got the okay from Jeff Landry. We don't need the FTC to give us the okie dokie to get together. And the FTC is saying, whoa, not so fast.
In court, the attorney for the Federal Trade Commission also asked Judge Lance Afric to order the hospitals to maintain their assets while this legal fight plays out.
Tulane downtown is one of the only certified stroke centers in the city.
But no rulings were issued by Judge Lance Afric. And after it, LCMC issued a statement to Fox 8 saying in part, LCMC Health is pleased to move forward with integration plans for our partnership with Tulane University, expanding access to specialty services and enhancing health care for all. Further, LCMC Health says the partnership will bring significant benefits to the community in the entire region and says it is excited to continue at full speed with its commitment to providing the highest level of quality care and medical training in Southeast Louisiana. But the judge signaled the case will eventually end up at the appeals court.